Hey guys, Script here with another video. Star Wars sets up Luke Skywalker's most incredible Last Jedi Force power. Star Wars is potentially setting up the origins of Luke Skywalker's most important Force ability he used at the end of The Last Jedi. And I have this sinking feeling this is another one of those, we're explaining things off screen again. We never really got a explanation as to how this was possible at all in the movies. It just sort of happened, and we're just supposed to accept it, and then what are we now, 7 years later, finally getting an explanation in a comic book, I guess? Oh, my word. Star Wars may finally be explaining Luke Skywalker's most impressive Force power featured in The Last Jedi. As seen in the canonical comics, Luke Skywalker's training between Empire and Return of the Jedi is being revealed, and much of it was self-taught using holocrons and sacred Jedi text he came across. However, it seems to have come from a significant friendship with the young Jedi maid as well. So really, we're going back. We're going to go back to explain what he did in The Last Jedi all the way to pre-Return of the Jedi? As seen in The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker force-projected a consciousness of himself from Ahch-To to the planet Crate, where the Resistance was in danger of being completely wiped out by Kylo Ren and the First Order, keeping Ren and his forces distracted long enough for Rey to rescue the survivors, a very taxing effort in Luke's ultimate sacrifice as he became one with the Force. To that end, it seems Star Wars now said, okay, just so you know, I've talked about this before, that scene. So when you watch that scene, it seems as though the goal of the scene, from Rian Johnson's perspective, was to make us feel as if Luke doesn't do what he did, then Kylo Ren and his dudes go into the base and find them all and kill them. But because Luke distracts them for a minute or whatever, it gives Rey and Chewie and the Millennium Falcon enough time to go around the back way, and Rey lifts a bunch of rocks. We don't really know why she knew to do that, but we also don't know why the First Order just stopped following the Falcon. Like, the Falcon comes in, shoots a bunch of guys, but like, where was the coverage? Like, shouldn't you have TIE fighters like flying around, seeing what's going on, seeing if anyone's escaping? So it's, in that sense, it's just a stupid scene. But when you watch the scene, and this is the kicker, so that was the goal, was to make so, he's saving them because he's giving them that extra minute. It's a pretty big base. I don't think that the First Order would have been able to walk all the way across the battlefield and get in there and walk all the way to the back in that 15-20 second period anyway. So the whole thing is very strange, and I gotta go back to it. Why wouldn't they have patrols? Why would they just let the Falcon be there? There's so much about this movie that makes no sense, but that's what Luke did. So Luke bought them like 15 seconds, maybe, I guess. It's the worst way for him to go out ever. He didn't even show up. Like, just show up, dude. Oh, and now we're going to explain it in a book 7 years later. He's now setting up the origins of Luke's impressive power, and when he learned the ability in the established Star Wars timeline. Luke Skywalker's force projection was a Falinasi technique. Appearing before the entire First Order, Luke's force projection took great advantage of Kylo Ren's rage, keeping him distracted as he ordered all of his walkers to open fire on the Jedi Master he didn't yet realize was intangible and not actually on Crate, as revealed in The Rise of Skywalker's another book, Visual Dictionary. It was confirmed that this power, also known as Similfuturus, was a powerful technique first developed by the Falinasi, a group of Force Adepts who were once allies to the Jedi Order before the dark times of the Emperor's rule. First, you gotta buy the Visual Dictionary to figure out what the heck is going on. Then now you got to get another book to figure out what's going on. Because why would you explain it in the movie? Why would you show Luke maybe learning about it in the Jedi text, perhaps, or anything? Why would you show that? I mean, and now they're going to retcon it into after Empire. Not only did the Falinasi develop this force projection power where a Jedi could pour their energy and spirit from the living force into the cosmic force, but they were also incredibly gifted at the art of kyber purification. When the Jedi Order was still protecting the galaxy ahead of the Empire's rise, they would commission the Falinasi to heal the red kyber that had been bled by the Sith Lords, which is so corny. Living kyber crystals, like, for frick's sakes. It's just so corny. They're just energy rocks. We don't need them to be alive and all. Anyways, I have a whole rant about that in another video. So, the aforementioned gifts of the Falinasi are quite notable considering Luke's adventures between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi that are being told in the ongoing comics. Having met a Falinasi named Greta during his travels, the young woman and her aunt are currently helping Luke learn how to heal a piece of red kyber he was given by one Dr. Quida. We're back to this stupid guy, the kyber crystal specialist, before escaping the Empire. However, one has to wonder what else they may teach Luke in future issues of ongoing and canonical Star Wars. They always have to do that. These sites, it's canonical. Just remember, it's canonical. Like, it's Disney. It's Disney canon. Although some techniques of the Falinasi were recorded in the Sacred Jedi text, much of Luke Skywalker's training was incredibly unconventional, especially ahead of Return of the Jedi. To that end, there are plenty of practices he doesn't yet know and access to the text he doesn't yet have. As such, what better way for Luke to learn his most powerful Force abilities than straight from the Falinasi themselves, seeing as how this alternate Force group was based on Jedha. There aren't very many left after the Empire destroyed the Holy City in Rogue One. Well, shouldn't there be none? What about Order 66? Oh, yeah, that's right. That really didn't kill anybody. It just killed like a handful of people. That's right. I forgot about that. In the aftermath of the original trilogy, Luke sought surviving traditions and influences connected to the Jedi Order. A perfect example is the Church of the Force, a group of non-Force sensitives who still believe in the Jedi's teachings. They helped Luke Skywalker recover Jedi texts and artifacts during the New Republic era as he tried rebuilding the Order. The Church of the Force's lore, San Tekka. See, I have an issue with just going back to this whole Jedi text stuff. So this is how they're explaining how he recovered the Jedi texts. Well, how would they know where they were? We know the Empire took over the Jedi Temple in Coruscant. They didn't destroy it. They converted it. But every single thing in there would become theirs. Palpatine didn't take what he wanted and then had a flea market for what he just felt like he didn't need. So where did they come from? They're just lying around? And where were they before Palpatine's takeover? Were they just spread out all over the galaxy? Why were they never mentioned in the prequels? Why was there zero, like nobody wanted them? Like Obi-Wan wasn't interested, nobody knew, right? It's one of those gigantic plot holes that doesn't make any sense. And then at the same time, you also have if Grogu was taught healing at the temple, how come none of the other Jedi knew healing? How come Obi-Wan didn't find the guy that taught Grogu so that would help Anakin in his situation, right? So there's these massive plot holes that they keep adding with these new Force powers and Jedi texts and all this nonsense. The Church of the Force's Lor San Tekka was the one who helped Luke find key relics, as well as the first Jedi Temple of Ahch-To, where he'd eventually become a hermit after Ben Solo fell to the dark side. Regardless, Luke's willingness to learn from the Falinasi perfectly fits his overall Jedi journey, and Star Wars making it very likely that they'll be the ones to teach him this incredible Last Jedi ability in the Star Wars canonical comics. They're canonical! So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Are you okay with this constant explaining things off screen? Can you think of something in the prequels or the original trilogy that you felt like needed an explanation, that needed to be explained off screen, right? Because when George added the midichlorians, he explained the midichlorians, right? He explained them in the movie. When anyone was doing any kind of Force power, you got this idea of an explanation behind it. It didn't just happen out of nowhere. And certainly we weren't getting books 7 years later trying to tell us what something was supposed to mean or something was supposed to be. So here we are 7 years later. The movies didn't explain it. He just did it. And now we're going to get an explanation in a comic book, more than likely having to do with this group of people, these Jedi sympathizer people that the Empire just decided Palpatine's like, keep them around. So the whole thing is nonsensical. What do you guys think in the comment section? Is this something you're interested in? Are you okay with them constantly just years later giving all these explanations? Because this is just one of many. Are you interested at all, or do you just not care? And do you think it's a little bit kind of deceiving to make people buy visual dictionaries and buy books and do all this stuff? Do you feel like it's almost like a business ploy to get you to spend money that you probably shouldn't have to unless you really wanted to just get some extra stuff, not explanations of things that are very, very major in the plots of these movies? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you do like this content, please like and subscribe. It always helps the channel. Check out any of my other Star Wars content and some other stuff as well on my channel. And have yourselves a really good day.